Thank you, Senator Stabenow. The first bill that I passed in the House, the year that Senator Stabenow and I went to the House together, was a bill that we co-sponsored, and from that moment on, I've known she is one of the greatest partners you could have in an effort because she is virtually unstoppable. And that is a good thing to have on your side. And Leonard Lance and Doris Matsui, great legislators. Tim Murphy, a psychologist, has a real interest and understanding of all this that probably exceeds almost any other member of the House or Senate. And in addition to the pilot project for the Excellence in Mental Health Act, we have a special project here that Tim's very focused on letting nonviolent offenders as an alternative to incarceration go into treatment, and treatment that they have to do, that has to be monitored, that deals with the problem they have rather than the thing that was created by the problem they have. As Senator Stabenow said, the NIH says that 1 out of 4 adults in the country has a diagnosable mental illness, and almost virtually all of those are treatable. And what we're trying to do is, 1, treat those like any other illness, and 2, expand the places that people can go to get that treatment. We introduced this legislation. Several of the people standing with us right now were standing with us in February or March of 2013. We introduced the bill in February. We may have had the press conference immediately, but from the very start, from the veterans community, from the law enforcement community, from the mental health advocacy community, there's been an understanding of what an important moment this would be, just across this important line of whether these are different than other illnesses or the same as other illnesses. And these pilot projects, these 8 pilot states, they'll be the same. And of course, they should be the same everywhere, and more importantly, be the same with more access points. You may be a veteran that would have somewhere you could go, but this will provide that many more places you could go. And it just might provide the one place that you're truly comfortable going, that you don't mind driving up, walking in, getting there. Somebody else maybe is able to go with you that wouldn't be able to go with you otherwise. From our friends in law enforcement, whether it's in this country or any other country, the one consistent thing in violent tragedies, virtually in all cases, somebody has a behavioral problem that hasn't been adequately dealt with. You can discuss about lots of different circumstances, lots of different places, lots of different weapons, lots of different kinds of victims, but the perpetrator always has a problem. Now, that creates a moment for us to talk about this, but I wouldn't want to say that without also saying that if you have a behavioral illness, you're much more likely to be the victim of a crime than you are to be the perpetrator of a crime. And that's part of all this too. So this goes into family after family, situation after situation, life story after life story. And certainly all of us would have rather seen our original bill, which was to do this for the whole country and to do it right now, become law. I don't want to jinx what's going to happen later today, but it certainly, we're not giving up on that concept, but we think these 8 states in a 2-year pilot will begin to create a sense of exactly what it is that all of us believe can be done, should be done, and in these 8 states, not yet determined, will be done. And so for the leadership of my legislative friends, but particularly for the encouragement and support of our friends who bring such a different sense of importance and of the desire to really solve this problem that creates so many other problems and so many other challenges, and to do just exactly what you've done, to go from the person who's being served to the person who's serving, the person whose problems have been dealt with to the person who, because that one thing happened, can step up and be somebody who's dealing with the problems that other people have. And so pleased to be part of this, look forward to continuing to be part of this discussion as we will hopefully complete this effort today as this bill goes to the President to be signed after the Senate deals with it today, but more importantly than to bring reality to the goal that we all had to treat these behavioral illnesses like every other illness, and people to understand that everybody that has this challenge has the same opportunity for cure, that in our country, almost all of these 1 in 4 diagnosable challenges have a solution if the community comes together and we have a system that works together to see that we solve this problem. Doris Matsui and I served in the House together, as did Leonard and I. And Doris, do you want to come up and say some things about what